I've been using Trading 212 for over 6 years now. I started off with just a few £100 and now my portfolio is valued at over 6 figures. And today I've got 26 of the best Trading 212 app tips that I could possibly think of, many of which I don't think you're using. We've got 7 different categories to cover off today, so let's start off with a juicy one, which is making your money work for you. If for some reason you're using the Trading 212 Invest account, you can earn interest on your shares by allowing Trading 212 to lend them out to financial institutions. The only downside being that you only keep half of the income. Inside the Invest account, click the 3 dashes, click Interest on Shares, and it'll tell you exactly how it works. It's secured by collateral, fully automatic, doesn't apply restrictions to your ability to sell your shares, and is transparent in the sense of how much you'll earn. There are some risks to be aware of which Trading 212 have looked to mitigate, but it's also worthwhile knowing that those lent out shares could also be used by traders to actually short the market, which could actually affect the value of those shares which you own. Using the Invest account if you've not used up your Stocks and Shares ISA allowance for the year though, is in my opinion a big mistake. That's because the Stocks and Shares ISA allows for tax-free growth and withdrawals, but the Invest account doesn't. So to make sure that you don't get slapped with a tax bill from HMRC, then it's probably worthwhile using the Stocks ISA first. Using the Stocks and Shares ISA for me is a non-negotiable to ensure that I can keep my profit. But one common fear that I do often hear about is that, oh well, I need a lot of money to get started out investing. But that's simply not the case, thanks to something called fractional shares. It kind of is what it says on the tin, where you're buying a fraction or a slice of a whole share, whether that's a share in a company or a share of an ETF. It's helpful for some investors, with some investments being priced in the hundreds of pounds, whereas you can buy a fractional share for just £1. Now, if you're looking to get your first fractional share absolutely free, well, you'll love this one, because you can scan the QR code up here on screen or click on the link down in the description below, and when you sign up to Trading 212, you will get 1 free fractional share valued up to £100. Or alternatively, if you have opened an account within the past 10 days, you can also enter the promo code Mitch within the promo section of the app, and you'll still qualify for that 1 free fractional share to get your account off to a positive start. Now, on the topic of making the most out of my money, I currently have £500 sat in my Stocks and Shares ISA account, and to earn an extra 3.8% on that cash, I can do the following. Click on the 3 dashes, click Interest on Cash, and then click Enable, and this screen will pop up. I'd suggest that you definitely have a read of the important considerations, given that some of this cash can be invested in something called a QMMF, which stands for a Qualifying Money Market Fund. It's a type of low-risk investment, but as it is an investment, it carries investment risk with it. You'll then need to confirm that you understand these risks before enabling the interest. But if you're the type of person that wants your cash in an FSCS protected account, well, the cash ISA could be a good alternative, currently paying a rate of interest of 3.6%. It's great if you're saving towards some short-term goals, or essentially if you're looking to take zero investment risk on your cash. Do be mindful though that that rate can change as the Bank of England base rate changes over time. But there's actually a clever way that you can generate new money for your investment portfolio, and that's through using the Trading 212 debit card. Now, most people don't realise or know this about the Trading 212 card, but it's almost like another micro investing tool that you have at your disposal. To show you this, click on the card tab. You'll then need to switch to the Invest account to use it. Here you get 1.5% cash back on your everyday spending, with some merchants offering boosted rates too. But it's what you can do with that cash back that I personally think is quite cool. Every time you spend on your Trading 212 card, you can invest your spare change or invest cash back. Click into it, select an investment of your choice. You can then apply a multiplier here to boost the roundup amount if you want to. Set a monthly limit so it doesn't invest more than you're comfortable with, and that's it. A great way to almost set it and forget it and build up a small portfolio on the side. But now you've got your money working for you, we now need to talk about how to protect it in our next category, which is protection and platform essentials. Okay, this is probably one of the most important tips of the video because it's how your money is protected. Because there's a bit of a common misconception about FSCS protection. First, if Trading 212 fails, your investments are not protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Instead, all investments are segregated from Trading 212's assets and are held with Interactive Brokers and Bank of New York Mellon, who are Trading 212's custody partners. Regardless, your investments always belong to you, even if that custody partner fails as well. However, one thing to be aware of here is that if your investment fails because you've made a dodgy investment, then the FSCS will not protect that either. Second, any cash held on the Trading 212 app is however protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme up to the value of £120,000 per banking group, which is the new limit that was raised in December 2025. But bankruptcies to one side, to ensure that your portfolio doesn't get absolutely wiped out, I need to give you a word of warning about Trading 212's CFD account. You'll see under account options, there is a CFD account. Now, CFDs are leverage products that allow you to speculate on price movements. But Trading 212 themselves have published that 73% of retail CFD accounts actually lose money. Now, I've recently noticed that Trading 212 have started to feature CFDs within the search section of the Stocks ISA account, where if you accidentally click into one, it will say tradable as a CFD. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't really like this feature, as you can quickly find yourself from being a long-term investor to some kind of speculative day trader, which is a completely different ballgame. CFDs to one side though, one of the reasons why people invest on apps like Trading 212 is to generate an income from their investment portfolio via something called a dividend. Now, just a word of warning or a word of caution for investors that just when you are searching within the app, you may see two of the same investments that look identical, but how they treat their dividends is completely different. Here we have two S&P 500 funds. The only difference here is that one is an accumulating fund, so the dividends are automatically reinvested, and the other is a distributing fund. So the dividends are paid in cash into your brokerage account. Neither is wrong, but you should be consciously choosing rather than accidentally selecting whichever one appears the highest within the search section within the app. If you do select a distributing fund to find out how much you're getting in dividends, well, click on the three dashes, click the history tab, flick across the dividends, and there they are. If I click into this one as an example, it will share the details of the dividends per share that have been paid. And on the topic of individual stocks, if you are buying into US dividend paying stocks like this one that I have with Meta, you can see something called a withholding tax rate of 15% being applied here. This is a tax that UK investors pay on US dividends. Now, this is a reduced rate down from 30%. Now, to ensure that you get this reduced rate of 15%, you must sign something called a W8BEN form, which Trading 212 should prompt you to do during the sign-up process. Now, one of the reasons why I love using Trading 212 is because they're continually updating the app, and they've recently launched some new features that I'm going to share with you next in our next category, which is new and notable. Let's start off with a new AI tool which is available within the Stocks and Shares ISA account. In your portfolio tab, scroll down to AI analysis and there are a few options to play with. Let's ask it, how diversified is my portfolio? It's got some interesting insights which you can interrogate further with the options at the bottom. And I've got to be honest, it's limited in terms of what it will tell you. It's certainly not going to create you your investment portfolio that's going to generate you hundreds of thousands of pounds, because it can't make personal recommendations. But it does give some useful insights, I will say, on the portfolio which you have. Now, if you're a little bit like me and try and keep up to date on what's going on in your investment portfolio, and you're out and about in public and you don't want Joe Blogs looking over your shoulder to see how much you've got invested, well, you can now activate something called privacy mode. Flip your phone screen down and it will instantly blur your portfolio balance, profit and loss, and basically the sensitive stuff. Great if you want to keep your information private and protected from the nosy guy sat next to you on the train. Perhaps this next one isn't new, but it is notable, and it's one that's been in place for nearly a couple of years now, but still it's one that many people don't know about, and that's that you can actually use multiple Stocks and Shares ISA accounts within the same tax year. You just can't go over that total £20,000 ISA allowance. It means you could technically have a stocks ISA with Trading 212, Vanguard and Lightyear all running simultaneously if you absolutely wanted to. On the topic of things often overlooked by investors, now let's talk about the next category, which is probably one of the most important, but if I'm honest, it's equally one of the most boring, but it probably is going to be the difference between a good and a great portfolio of your investment lifetime. So now let's talk about tax efficiencies and fees. One thing that surprised me in the conversations that I have is that some investors don't realize that the £20,000 ISA allowance is per tax year. It's not a capped £20,000 allowance per account that you have. It is a use it or lose it allowance, and you can't carry forward any unused allowances from previous tax years, unfortunately. And it is shared amongst other ISA accounts which are available. It resets on the 6th of April each year, and this is your friendly reminder to make the most of it. Now, there's also another common misconception about putting your money into a stocks ISA, in that some people believe that once you have done, it's permanently trapped in that account, or if you withdraw it, then you burn through your allowance for the year. But that's not quite the case with Trading 212. That's because they have something called a flexible ISA, so let me show you how it works. Here is my remaining ISA allowance right now of £19,500. Now if I click into the three dashes, click Manage Funds, I can move £100 from my cash ISA to my stocks ISA, and then if I click back into my allowance again, you can see it's still £19,500. And you can see I also have that extra £100 in my stocks ISA too. This is great because it means that it's not essentially double counting the contributions that you're making. If say you're like me and I put money first into my cash ISA account, then at the midpoint in the month I tend to then transfer it or move it into my stocks ISA in order to make my monthly investments. I do this to ensure as much of my money as possible is held in these tax-free accounts. Now whilst we're talking about money management, now let me share with you what I'm going to say is some annoying and needless fees in my opinion, but is mandatory fees that you must pay if you're buying UK shares as a UK investor. Some people look at the price of a share and think that that's all they'll pay, but that's simply not the case. Actually, if you're buying UK listed shares, let's take Rolls-Royce for example, there is an automatic 0.5% government stamp duty charge on top. That's a 50p charge for every £100 invested, which would soon rack up if you are starting to invest into the thousands, perhaps even the tens of thousands of pounds. However, I guess it's nothing new, just another tax that the UK government charge us UK taxpayers. But if you're new to all of this and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, well, the next few tips are for you in the next category, which is beginner's best practice. Look, as I've said, getting started can be a little bit overwhelming, perhaps even a little bit confusing. But before you invest any of your hard-earned money, you can actually use fake or practice money first. To do this, click on the three dashes, scroll down, you can switch then to our practice account. Click the invest option and then you have 50 grand to play with. It all looks and operates the same, but you're just using practice money, which is great because it means you can get a feel for the type of investments that you want to make, how the markets work and how they move on a day-to-day basis, all whilst taking zero risk. Another thing that you may have found a little bit odd though when looking around the app, and just to add to the confusion, is that UK shares are actually listed in pennies, not pounds and pence. Take AstraZeneca for example, which is priced at 13,972p. Instinctively, you might be thinking, well, how much is 13,972p, and why can't it just be priced in pounds and pence instead? Well, for clarification, you just need to move the decimal point back 2 places. So in the context of AstraZeneca, the shares are £139.72p. For Rolls-Royce, they become £11.30, and for BP, it becomes £5.72. The reason it's like this is a traditional one pre-1971, one Great British pound was divided into 20 shillings and 240 pence, so I guess back then it was probably just easier to quote in pence rather than pounds and pence, but with, 55 years of inflation, well, now it just becomes quite confusing with things being priced in thousands of pennies. Anyway, just another thing whilst you're looking to invest in individual stocks is that some of them can be highly volatile, and there will be a risk warning that can pop up on screen to remind you of this. All this means is that the asset that you're looking to invest in may experience sharp movements in price. That's not to say it's a bad investment or that you shouldn't make the investment, but it is something to be aware of. Right, if you stuck with me this far, well, the next section is going to be your reward for doing so, because the next couple of tips are ones which have actually caught me out personally and cost me a little bit of money along the way. So let's talk about the next category, which is smarter investing. Look, I've got to tell you about a hidden risk when investing in the app that some people don't even realize because it's not exactly the most visible, but it is one that's actually caught me out personally. When you make foreign investments, you expose yourself to the FX difference of those two currencies, and that can massively affect the overall value of the investment that you've made. To find out how this affects your portfolio, let me show you this in the investment that I've made in AMD. If I click into the return, you can see whilst I'm up 286% on the stock, which is absolutely mind-blowing, I'm actually down nearly 5% in an adverse FX fee, the equivalent to 123 quid. Currency fluctuations are an additional risk that you take on for buying shares in foreign countries. Now, this has mostly been swallowed up, obviously, by the good performance of this stock, but that's not always the case. One other thing that I must mention so you don't get stung by it is deposit fees. An instant bank transfer is free, and that's what I do myself, but just to be aware that deposits via Apple Pay or card are free up until you deposit £2,000. After that, you'll get hit with a 0.7% fee, which will soon rack up. Once you've avoided deposit fees, the next bit is about how to make investments using Trading 212 pies. On Trading 212, you have the option to create a pie, where you can either select a single or group of investments. By setting your portfolio up in this way, you can also select the auto invest feature, which automatically adds money to your portfolio with the selections that you've made. The only downside here, it does require you to remember to add free funds into your account in order to ensure that that auto investment takes place. Okay, here's the final one, which is a bit of a bugbear for me personally, and that's to do with the app telling you to rebalance your pie once your pie drifts from your target allocations. That's because when you click rebalance, it will automatically sell positions in your portfolio which perhaps you may not want to make. For me personally, instead of being a seller of my portfolio, then instead I just try and add new money to the portfolio instead to build those positions up over time rather than kind of reallocating and redistributing funds constantly. For me, it still kind of achieves the same results without incurring any fees and without selling any of my positions. So they are your Trading 212 app tips, but I've also got to tell you about 21 investing tips that have absolutely changed my life and helped me build that six-figure investment portfolio. So if you want to check out those, be sure to click on this video next. That being said, see you over in the next one.